Hey guys, DukeWayneLopez here, and before I start the video, I'm gonna address this. So, I've been working in a studio. This is still the school, but they have a studio. I've known about it, I've heard about it. It was a myth, it was a legend, and I found it. They know I'm here though. Don't worry about that. I did not break and enter. But pretty much I've been helping to set up this whole thing. I have some experience working with uh, TriCasters from my church, so I'm trying. But we got some videos that we're trying to make for the school, and I'm also trying to get them to kind of work with me. It's just kind of hard. Everybody's real busy, so it's usually me and my friend Miguel that's working in here as well as an intern. So I'm trying to help them as much as I can, but that's why my videos are getting delayed as well, is because this stuff right here is kind of cool. But today's video is going to be about the NREMT, my experience with it, and any tips and advice that I can give you from what I've seen from the test. Can't give you any of the questions or anything like that. I don't want to really touch too much into questions because I don't know what the regulations are about that. But yeah, I wanted to give as much advice as I can about the actual NREMT exam. For states, there's different needs for each state. Florida, once when I took the NREMT, that's all I need. As long as I pass the NREMT, then I'm good. They give me my state exam, not state exam, sorry. They gave me my state license, my NREMT certifications, and got my patches, everything like that. I did pass it on my first try. They actually took me through the entire 120 questions of that test. I was so shot for time. Uh, they give you a lot of time to do it, but a lot of it's scenario based. So with me, I'm thinking what I would do, and then I think, what do they want me to say that I would do, though? So it's one of those little, just wrap your head around things. The questions, they vary from 70 to 120. The way that they set it up is to have it where they start you off with an easy question, then they get harder and harder as you go, depending on how you answer, is how many, well, depending on how many answer you correctly answer. Depending on how many you correctly answer until you get to like the very hard ones, depends on how many questions you're gonna get, something like that. It's weird how they set it up, but everybody has a random number of questions that they go through. They could stop you at 70 and you could pass. They could stop you at 70 and you'd fail. You could do 100 and you pass, and vice versa. It's the same thing for everyone. So don't think that the reason why you're getting so few is because you failed or passed. Don't think that you're getting so many is because you failed or passed. I had the full 120. I literally had maybe 15 minutes left when I was at question 120. I was like, please don't let there be more. So don't let that deter you. That's a myth, a legend that needs to die. But it was pretty easy to figure out how it wanted you to go. Just like with the questions in school, they have two that are like obviously wrong, and then you just have the other ones to deal with. So as long as you know your stuff, you can get rid of those two, then you just have these two things to deal with. They had different areas that you had to go through. So of course you're going to have geriatric, pediatric, you're going to have OBGYN, you're going to have the scenarios. The scenarios can be anything. I had a lot of stuff as far as diseases and symptoms, which I don't know how, but I remembered symptoms of different diseases that actually helped me out on this test. But when I saw that on there and how frequently I saw it on there for my specific test, I was freaked out. I was like, I'm going to show back up here next week because there's just so many of them. And every test is different. That's the thing. Listening to my video and my experience, your experience is going to be completely different from mine. I can promise you that, because just like with real estate, I took that test so many times because for some reason I could not get it. I was always like one or two questions off from passing from that thing, and every single test that I took was completely different from the previous one. The only thing I think stayed the same for real estate was which equations you were using. So I had that guaranteed 10 questions right out of the 80 that I had to get right. So with that one, you're going to hear my own personal experience. It may or may not be your experience. I don't know how many different versions of that test they have. They probably have a lot. The best I can do is just try and guide you in your studies. So hopefully I can do that. Now to my experience, my personal experience with the NREMT. We have Pearson VUE that does our testing over here. They do all of our testing. They have national and state testing sites. So mine, I had to go to Altamont Springs to do mine over there. It was actually close to my real estate brokerage, so that made it kind of easy for me. I did real estate and then straight over there. I think I had 3 hours on the test. But you go over there, they have their regulations for making sure that you don't cheat. So you go over there, you sign your name, you tell them what you're there for, they look for you on the list, they find you on the list. Take 2 copies of identification. Both of them need signatures, one needs to be photo, of course. They check that, make sure that your signature didn't change from when you signed it on the license. Otherwise, it'll be like, are you sure you're who you are? And then they make you sign it how you used to sign it. Because mine changed from like big signature to doctor signature for real estate. I was kind of proud of that, but it kind of bites me in the butt now that I'm actually in the field doing stuff with my license. But where was I going with this? Brain fart. Oh gosh. Be right back. Oh yeah, I was bringing up the license steps on that. Anyways, sorry, I got completely lost in what I was talking about. I didn't stray off track, I just lost the track that I was going on. So it's like the track's going this way and I started kind of deviating. But anyways, you show them your license and everything. They have you fill out all these forms saying you read their rules and everything. They give you a locker. You put everything in the locker, turn off your cell phone. You got to show them that your cell phone's off. So you put everything in there. They do this thing with your palm now. So they scan your palm. I guess it's more accurate than a fingerprint. So they do that. You go through all that process. You do it a couple times, both hands. And then she sends you to the next person, or he sends you to the next person, whoever you have. They send you to the next person. The next person checks your identity a second time, just in case if you somehow like secretly jumped through an air vent and another you came out that was smarter and wiser to take your test for you. So they do it, and then they take you to your computer after telling you the rules for the room. So no talking, all this other stuff. They have the headphones for you, so you can put the headphones on that are supposed to be noise canceling, but really all they are is audio headphones. Say I'm sitting here, this is an average distance from my computer. I'm sitting here, I have walls to like here, so like if I want to look at somebody, I gotta like, hey, how you doing? Something like that. And I have a text message.
New message is received from Larissa.
Leave me alone, woman. Okay. I have eat. Whoa, space there, buddy. I have eat. No. I have played for. I'm gonna censor you guys. Alright, sorry about that. I had to send a text. One of my friends, old friend, you're gonna have 10 years back, a scrap paper. You don't need scrap paper. I don't know why they gave it to me. I doodled on it. I made like smiley faces and stuff. It was pretty awesome. I gave her smiley faces. I told her like have a nice day, things like that. I told her really nice things, you know. So she had a bad day. She got like one of these things over here. Hold on. Yeah. So when I turned in my paper, half of it was this. So I gave her the papers. I told her though, I gave her the warning I was like, I'm gonna give you so many smiley faces and words of encouragement of having nice days and stuff, and I did. But I took 120 questions, and people on the forums and everything, I looked it up afterwards, and they're like, "Oh my God, you probably failed." But people were passing it with 120. I passed with 120. Wait until the test results come in. Mine came in the next day. Some people say that comes in 2-3 days. I got mine the very next morning. I took mine in the late afternoon also. I think I finished my test at like 4:30. So they give you the results quick. It comes up on the NREMT website when you sign up for it and everything through your school. You just sign back in, click on what you need to click on, and it'll tell you right there. Then you can start buying stuff from the store and whatnot. They have a store on there that has patches, frames, all that other good stuff. As far as what to study, I would say study everything. Anything that you had a hard time with in school, you need to study that because most likely it's going to be on the test. If not, you need to know it anyways. So you might as well study it. Me, I got lucky because our finals, really, really hard. And that's how it's designed to be for a school. They want you to be completely prepared to where when you pass your final here, the NREMT is no problem for you. I know of a few people that I kept in contact from school, and they passed theirs already. We all got ours at pretty much the same time, which is awesome. So now we got a separate time to actually go out and celebrate. Pregnancies, study all that. Make sure that you know your pregnancies. OBGYN is in the test. Geriatrics, I had geriatrics also for like falls and stuff. But study everything off of that. Study all your vitals, know everything. If you don't know it by now, you have to know it by the test because the test is going to test you thoroughly. They will make sure that you know what you need to know to be an EMT, basically. Your diseases might be a good thing. I wish I would have known my diseases more. They had me so freaked out. I was answering the same answer for each one because I was like, it sounds like this, but why would it be like 3 times in a row? I was freaking out. Apparently I was getting them all right. I don't know. I feel like they're doing reverse psychology on me during the NREMT. I'm pretty sure that's what they're designed for, is just to like screw with your head and see if you keep getting the right answer. Because everything, oh man, it's so weird. It's like they word it slightly differently and expect the same exact answer, but they're leaning towards something else. So yeah, it's one of those things. So just be prepared for everything. I wanted this to be like a go-to thing for NREMT, but as I'm thinking about it, as I'm going through this video, there is no go-to for the NREMT. There is no figuring it out. It's just know your stuff. So read your question more than just once. Make sure that you understand the question thoroughly before answering. There's not any golden rule to it that I can understand. I think that they're pretty much random, so it's up to your knowledge. So your knowledge base is going to determine whether you pass or fail. It sounds kind of rough, but it's really not. As long as you know your stuff, you'll pass it. To end this whole tangent, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at study, do your best, don't let the scenarios fool you, and know to eliminate the 2 that are most likely going to be wrong. You'll see them and you'll laugh. I had a couple laughs when I took the test. So I'm sure you guys will too if you have the same sense of humor as I do. But I wish you all the best of luck on your testing, and I hope to see you out on the field. All right, guys. Peace. And what the heck is wrong with my hair? Dude. Volume. See, this is what happens when I just leave everything out of my hair. And then it's like that. See, usually I have it like back this way. I usually have it like it's like a, what do they call it? An executive contour is what I usually have. But now it's like, I don't have anything in my hair to like hold it back, so now it looks kind of, stick everything else back. Like, I'm one of those cool guys that has that one strand of hair and then Ladies come over and they're like, don't worry, I'll get that for you. I'm like, miss, don't touch the hair. Don't touch the hair. It's my job.